We are going to continue our notes from last week. And if you were not in class or you're falling behind in class, then here's the notes you missed. And it's important that you keep up with it because it is due this Friday. And it is worth 50 assignment points, so you want to make sure you get all those points as possible. So let's take a look at today's notes for the 9th. You need to find substitute teacher heading in your notes. That's where we left off. And it's important if Mrs. Wilson has an emergency or I'm sick or the district wants me to do some kind of professional development class. Sometimes I may not be here. I do try to be here. Many of the previous years, I haven't even missed one day. I'm hoping I'm not jinxing myself right now. But sometimes, and in other classes, you're going to have substitute teachers too. So these four things just kind of keep in mind so the day can go smoother and you're not having such a miserable day. First of all, stay in your assigned seat. So put stay on the blank line. We teachers leave seating charts for the substitute teachers so they have a way of knowing who is where, who's in their class, where, like if they're looking at you, they can just look at the sitting chart and know who you are. If you're switching seats because you're like, oh, here's a great day to go sit by my friend, let's flip flop seats, or let's go sit together, that's not what's expected. That just gives you trouble and problems. The whole purpose is so the sub knows who is where and who's present, who might be absent. So stay in your assigned seats. That's what's expected of you. Also, be helpful. Try to put yourself in your substitute teacher's position. You know, they're walking into a class that they have no idea what assignments or what projects you may be working on. And it'd be helpful if they need some guidance and understanding of what you are working on. Also, complete the assigned tasks. We don't want to waste a day because you'd rather do nothing. I'm just going to sit through ELA and not worry about anything. That's not what's expected. We teachers want you to do what is expected and left in lesson plans so you can keep current and not lose a day and meet your due dates. Also, treat them with welcome and respect. Your parents would be proud of you for that, and I know I would be proud of you for that. It's not easy walking into another established classroom not knowing who's in what room, who's in which class. Just be respectful and helpful. Your teacher will be appreciative. They'll go home saying, you know what, that wasn't really a bad day. I had a pretty good day. And you guys will feel better too because that tension won't be there. Okay, entering the class, be in your seat when the bell rings. So put rings on the blank. I know you've seen that before, but again, it stands to be repeated. So you know when the bell rings, from Dr. Elmer all the way down to me, we expect you to be ready to go. I know I'm ready to go as a teacher. When the bell rings, I'm ready to go. Update your calendar or agenda with your daily assignments and what's expected of you. And you are expected to be on time. If you arrive to class after the bell has rung and but not on the line, in your seat, you are considered tardy. If you get 3 tardies, then you start getting lunch detentions, and more than 3, then they tend to double, and you go to ALC for your lunch detentions. So just be on time. And you don't have to be tardy 3 in a row. You just have to be tardy 3 times. Once you hit that 3rd mark, you earned lunch detention. Tardies will affect your learning, and you have other consequences such as detention. What I just mentioned there. All right. Pick up after yourself before you leave. I'm not willing to. I'm not interested in picking up after teenagers. My little baby grandbabies, well, they're not babies anymore, but they pick up after themselves. I don't go around picking up after them. I'm not planning to pick up after you guys. So take all your belongings, pick up any scrap papers around you. So a round goes on the line. And put your desk back in line. Push your chair goes on the line before you leave each day. This room can seem really kind of crowded with the tables and the chairs. Just make sure you're pushing it in so people aren't tripping over it. You are still responsible for what you miss when you are absent, so put absent on the line. First bullet point, make arrangements to take quizzes and tests immediately. That way you're not forgetting about it. It is your responsibility, put responsibility on the line, to make these arrangements. I'm not going to chase after you. I have well over 120 plus students. I can't chase after you saying, oh, you're missing this, you're missing this, you're missing this. You have one of you to take care of, and I expect you to be responsible for that. Second bullet point, missing work significantly. That means it's really important that it does impact your grade. Impact just means it affects your grade. So if you're missing work, you're going to be affecting your grade in the negative way. All right, this page right here, you are to complete your classroom work, so put that on the line, and stay on the line on task. Put task on the line. Example, bell work, which we don't really do, so you don't have to worry about that, but go ahead and put work on the line. Classroom assignments, put assignments on the line. Group work, put work on the line. And missing work. So when we say your classroom work, it could be any and all of that. Second bullet point, if you choose not to complete your work and you are getting a D or an F in class, you must stay after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 to get your grade to a passing level. Now, in previous years, we used to have late buses on that day, so I'll have to check into that. But even some of my bus riders prior to us getting that had parents or brothers and sisters picking them up, so they were able to get that, they were able to meet that. This is not a punishment for you. This is just an opportunity for me to help you in that hour or two, depending on what you say. So we need to get you to passing. D's and F's are not okay. And then I will check with Dr. Elmer and see if there are any late bus opportunities. But we'll go through this on a individual basis, especially if you're a bus driver. Bus driver, that's funny. Bus rider, we'll figure something out. Okay, third bullet point. If you misuse the computers, example, playing games, or you're on unauthorized sites, or you're mishandling the computer, or you're not passing ELA with the C or better, you will lose the privilege of using the computers. You will have to write everything by hand, or you can use the computers, but it'll be outside my classroom. It won't be during the classroom time. If you have a D or an F and you're not passing, that means you're doing something else with your computer during classroom time that you have to actually do your work. So we'll go through that again. I'm sure this won't be the last time you see this information. All right, during class, always be an active listener. Listener goes on the line for your teacher and your classmates. If you're not listening, you're daydreaming, you're doodling, you're talking, you're doing something else, but actively listening, really paying attention, then you're going to be lost when it comes to your time to actually work on what we're talking about. Participate in all classroom discussions. You are definitely going to have various levels of discussion, whether it's through a partner or 4 students or the whole class. You're going to have various opportunities to have discussion, and it is expected that you participate with your ideas and your thoughts. You want to complete all classwork, put class and work on the line. If you do not complete classwork, it is expected that you complete it at home. That is just a given. If you don't do it in class, because I promise I will give you enough time to do it in class as long as you're focused and you're on task. But if you choose to do something else, choose to not work during class, well, then you got to do it at home. Do not get out of your seat without your teacher's permission. Again, the class size, the class arrangements. You need to raise your hand and ask, can I go throw this away? Can I sharpen my pencil? Raise your hand to ask or answer questions. Just that way we're not all over talking each other. To add, put add on the line, to classroom discussions. Use an inside voice when speaking in class. Again, we don't want to have a loud, noisy, awkward, cannot think in environment. And then use a softer voice when working in a group with your shoulder partner. Okay, you are not allowed behind my desk, the teacher's desk, without permission. If I say, yeah, go over there and get blah, 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 then that's my permission. But other than that, I don't want you just poking around. That's my personal stuff. That's my personal space. You will put respect on the line, all classroom materials and school property. That's someone else's money right there. Usually mine, sometimes the school's. But please treat it respectfully. Treat it with respect. You didn't pay for it. Before you leave class, pick up any trash or objects on the tables and floor. Tables and floors are blanks. Student tables should be cleared off and left tidy for the next class. Materials need to be put away neatly. Class will not be dismissed. Dismiss goes on the line until the classroom is clean. I dismiss you, not the bell. When the bell rings, you're not all rushing to the door. I will release you to your next class. And I will make sure it's clean for the next class as it was clean for you. Chairs need to be pushed on the line into the tables. Again, it's just for safety and space. All right, that's the last for today. We have a few more notes for tomorrow. If you have any questions, please ask.